Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Reality. I just wanted to thank the 111 supporters out there. Everyone likes 111. Thank you, Liz, for giving me a place to say thank you to people for all their support and kindness as I rebuild from this hip surgery. Thank you very much. And how are you doing?
Oh, I'm recovering from the flu. It's not been an easy month for all of us. But I'm just so glad you're feeling better. And again, thank you to everyone that has supported Mr. Reality. He's got terrible hospital bills now, so every little bit helps. Thank
Every
you.
bit, and thank you. And if you can't, that's fine. Words of encouragement are great too. When I was in the hospital, Liz, I was thinking a lot about Colonel Sanders, and I don't know if it's because I really wanted fried chicken or not, but Colonel Sanders didn't actually develop his chicken recipe and sell it till he was 65 years old. So all of you out there thinking, what's next in my life? You could be the next Colonel Sanders. And I wonder if we could bring in Harlan Sanders and ask him a couple questions about his life and struggle and what was life like back then.
Oh my God. And what is the secret recipe? Uh, yes. Okay. Let me bring him in. He is here. This will be so fun. What
So
would you
what
like
is
to
he?
know?
What's he wearing? Can you tell us what he looks like? Is he a young or old Colonel Sanders wearing the traditional white suit?
He's got on the white suit and he's got a big white cowboy hat too.
Has he ever done anything like this before?
No.
Wow. So his father died when he was 5 years old, and he had to cook and care for his siblings. And he left school at 12 years old. What was that early life like for him, and how did he manage it?
That early life like for you. It was really hard. I am getting that they grew up very poor. There was no money. Oftentimes he would have to cook and not have food to eat himself. It was very, very difficult.
So did he sign into that life before he came down? And what kind of karmic lesson did his father give to him by dying when he was 5 years old, I wonder?
Did you sign up to that life? But yes, he did. And his dad always leaves early in every lifetime. And are you always like the leader of the family? Most of the time, yes, he becomes like the man of the family. And what was that like for you? How did you feel? Like, what was that experience? Well, he feels like he missed out on a lot of things. Back then, men taught their children trades. So if they were in a trade or they taught them the hands-on work, and he felt like he had to learn everything by himself on his own.
I'm curious about his father. You said he checks out early all the time. Why? What is the situation how's his growth being stunted or maybe evolved by doing that?
What is that about? The It's about making it very difficult for those he left behind. He chooses to leave so that we experience the suffering. And I'm saying, but you know, do you guys ever get tired of this? And he goes, oh, yeah, we do. But that's what we know. I feel like there's a lot of siblings, or there was a lot of people in his house when he was young, too.
Yeah, I think he did have a lot of brothers and sisters too, and probably a lot of people came over for his cooking. But how long has that been going on, that soul journey of his father leaving so early, I wonder?
How long has that been going on? Like, how many human lifetimes has that been going on? At least 15.
Wow. And is there any chance he's going to decide, maybe I'll stick around and see what goes on? Or is he still just like, I'm out of here?
He said this is what works. This is what works for all of them, especially him. But I'm going to ask him this question. Do you remember a lifetime where your family stayed intact? He goes, oh, yeah, we had several of those too. Now, comparatively speaking, were those not better lifetimes than? No, he says, no, they weren't better lifetimes because this is all about making him resilient, making him into a leader, making him tough, making family decisions. When his family would stay intact, and his mother had left in other lifetimes too, but that wasn't so good because all dad would actually end up doing is like remarrying or having another female step in. This
Okay.
is about, because he says no man really wants to take on all these kids and this family. So this is about, making all of them strong. They had to, do everything themselves. I feel like they farmed themselves. They grew things. They had animals. So they had a pretty rough life, and they also had to earn money and take care of their mother.
Right. That would have been a long time. And so it just doesn't help for him to stick around. That's interesting. Um, I wanted to get back to Harlan and ask him some questions. He was a lot of different things, a streetcar conductor, a painter, a farmhand, a railroad worker, worked in the army down in Cuba for a short time, a law student, a lawyer, didn't work out, a tire salesman, a steam engine stoker, ferry boat operator, lighting company secretary, restaurant owner, hotel manager, and finally, later in life. How did all those jobs help shape him? And was it frustrating to go from job to job to job for him, or did he feel like I'm doing a good job at every one of the positions he had?
Did you feel like you were doing a good? No, no. Some of them were a complete disaster, but it was all about leadership. He really liked to be in charge. He was always trying to come up with business ideas. He just never had any money to execute them. Do
What were
you
some
feel
of the failed business ideas maybe that he had?
what were some of the failed business ideas that you had? Well, a lot of it revolved around farming and the farming industry, like farming innovations, inventions, things that make people's lives easier. And I'm saying to him, did you find that all of those jobs contributed leading up to the experience it took to start KFC and to continue it? Yes, he does believe that everything accumulated and helped him become, who he was.
What were some of the biggest challenges that he faced, and at which jobs did he feel like was the most taxing that just wasn't for him?
So he's showing me something with, was there something to do with oil?
You've
He's
got him. I
showing
don't
me
know.
something to do with like pipeline, almost like a pipeline or oil or digging something. That was horrible because it was just so hot. They were treated very badly. And I don't feel some of these jobs lasted very long. Are you showing me like the railway? Okay. Was he, when you said he was railway, was he laying down the railroad tracks? Because that's what it feels like to me. That's what he's
He
showing
was a
me.
laborer and then also a fireman. He helped shovel coal on the railway. And this is common, he was born in 1890, so a lot of
Oh,
those rail jobs were still around. My great grandfather died from pneumonia working on the railway back in about 1909. So a lot of those jobs were really taxing.
he hated that. He absolutely hated that.
So is that what kind of, I mean, I want to know more about the Colonel before the Colonel. Tell us about Harland and about his early lifetime and about what made him happy. What kind of things did he enjoy?
What kind of things did you enjoy? I mean, he just enjoyed making money. Really, he was a workaholic and he knew that money was the ultimate freedom. Um, he knew that money was, it was like the reliever of all problems. Most problems could be solved with money. And he's even talking about back then health issues like that all costs money, education costs money, like everything had to be resolved using money. And he felt such a huge burden on his shoulders to always be the leader, always be the provider, he's saying. There wasn't a lot of free time.
He grew up a strict Methodist. Did he feel like his upbringing helped or hindered him in his growth?
Do you feel like your religion, Methodist, do you think that helped you? Oh yeah, it helped him always keep looking for something better, he says.
Was he very devout, or did he just do it kind of for the community?
He wasn't overly devout, no.
And does he feel lonely in his early life, or is it something that he was always busy and he wasn't lonely?
Did you feel lonely in your early life? I mean, sometimes when everybody had to, was in bed and he's still working his fingers to the bone when he was a child, doing all the man's work. Yes, I mean, that felt lonely.
Were there
But
other? Oh, go ahead.
sorry, overall, no. He literally was a workaholic. Like he ate, slept, and breathed work.
Were there other successful business or successful leadership lifetimes that he had before Harlan Sanders?
Were there other success? Oh, yes, plenty of them, he says. Okay, and what sort of things were you? He was a shipbuilder at one time.
Hmm.
He had a very successful shipbuilding business that he built from the ground up.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
US or Europe or UK? Where was that?
Where was that? Was that in the, no, that was not in the US. That was in where? I feel like it was Germany.
Oh, they had I don't know if they had ships around it must have been the lifetime preceding Colonel Sanders then. I don't know when they were
Was it
building
the lifetime
ships around there.
preceding? Yes, it was. It was the lifetime before. He was this very wealthy. The pursuit of money is what drives him. He was a very wealthy ship builder.
And at the end of his lifetime there, leaving that lifetime, having success, having a building of lifetime of money, how does he feel leaving it behind?
Ooh, how do you feel leaving it behind? Do you wish you could carry it with you? Well, part of him does because he is such a workaholic. He wishes that he could carry the wealth over into the next lifetime.
Right.
And I'm saying, but are you not going to be able to do that? I think some of it will be there. Will KFC always be around? No, no, it won't be around forever. And I feel like some members of the family, somebody's going to get hold of it and destroy it.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah, yeah, they're gonna run it into the ground. And so does that mean you'll have to come back in and rebuild a new business? Yeah, that's what he loves to do. But if you could take some of that money or somehow, create a trust or something where you pick back up where you left off in the next lifetime, wouldn't that just help promote? Because you're always going to be an innovator. Wouldn't that help you? Instead of having to scrounge around for money? He said it most certainly would.
What was his most cherished possession when he left his German lifetime as a shipbuilder? I wonder, like, what do the wealthy crave and what do they really like?
Ooh, what was your most cherished possession when you were? Oh, he had a rare, what kind was it? He's showing me like, was it an emerald or he had a rare gem that was given to him as payment for a down payment for a ship. And it was very rare. It was mined and it was from Africa.
Wow,
Mm.
that's pretty coveted back there. I wonder where it is now. Was KFC, so the idea behind KFC, you were running a filling station and you were making your own chicken and you were feeding it to people and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's the best chicken I've ever had." Did you really decide that would be a business beforehand, or were you just focused on running the filling station? Did you ever think, I mean, it stratospherically rose to success, but in your wildest dreams, was that your next avenue if it had not succeeded, or were you just, what I'm trying to ask is the success of KFC must have been stupendous, but what was your next job if the KFC thing hadn't have rolled out?
KFC thing. He would have no, there wasn't another job coming after that. He would have just stayed there till the day he died. But the whole KFC thing, what he's telling me is that people would line up, they were sold out every day. And that's when everybody's like, "Oh, wish we could get this all the time." Um, and is that what gave you the idea for the restaurant? Yeah, I mean, it really was because it was in such high demand. Now, the recipe has changed, he said, over the years. That it has changed a little bit. It's a little bit more commercial. And was it fried chicken? Yeah, it was fried chicken. And would you fry all the chicken? Yes, he would. And would people ask you for the recipe? I'm sorry, I have to ask it. Would people ask you for the all the time, and all the church ladies? He says, and I'm saying, did you? And he just knew that to keep people coming back, that he couldn't give the recipe out.
Well, there are 11 secret herbs and spices that we'll get to very shortly. Just stick around here. We'll give you the secret recipe. Um,
Mhm.
but on a soul level, did he ever feel like defeated after he died? How many incarnations has Colonel Sanders or Harlan Sanders had up until Harlan Sanders as a human being?
Mm. Oh, he's had a lot. He's up to about 400.
And what level on the spiritual ascension steps does he feel that he is? And what is he?
What level on the spiritual ascension? So he's going into 4.
Wow. If he could give some message to entrepreneurs disheartened out there, what would it be?
You have to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, even though at sometimes they may feel stupid. They may feel like you're going nowhere. Something has to give. You just can never give up.
Were there any spiritual guides or soul family members that were helping him along in his path and giving him support and giving him encouragement along the way, or was it all him?
Was there any guides that well, his guides that protect him, his father, of course, was always there cheering him on from the sidelines, the spiritual sidelines. Could you see your father? No, but he could feel him a lot. And he just felt this tremendous burden. That was his driving force.
How many failed recipes did it take before he perfected what he considers the best KFC blend of 11 herbs and spices?
How many failed recipes was it there? Oh, dozens, dozens and dozens. Um, and you finally got it down to the one real, yeah, he did. He knew by the way that people would stand around and eat his chicken and beg for more, and everybody. Now listen, don't forget when this came out, this was relatively new. Food, he says, was relatively bland and boring. He says the food wasn't that exciting.
Did this draw upon any other incarnations, his as like a restaurateur or a chef, or is it all something that came about as the Harlan Sanders incarnation?
Are you a chef or a cafe or food or no, no, this was this lifetime. He's coming back. What are you going to be in the next lifetime? He's going into IT next lifetime.
if he could share a message of us like from the other side. I know there's no taste over there, but what symbolically do those 11 herbs, and maybe they're more, but we say 11 herbs and spices represent in the KFC chicken blend?
Ooh, can you taste anything over there? No, you're right. There's no taste buds. There's no tongue. There's no food. Okay.
Is he
So
hungry?
what would be a visual representation for those of you in the spirit world that, do you miss the taste? Oh God, yeah. God, he does miss the taste of food. Like, where you hear this phrase like food is life, right?
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, what is it like to be in a place where you've created this and yet you don't have any taste buds? I mean, what is that like for you? Torture. Torture. He likes the taste of food. And the sensations, it's not just, food, but it's like touch and feeling and seeing. Can you see? No, I mean you don't really see up there because you don't have eyes. And I'm like, okay, so what is it that I see when I travel up there and I see like electric blue outlines? Do you see those same electric blue outlines? And he says, no, we just know that we're there. We're very conscious. Are you just roaming around like a consciousness? Basically, yes. So what is it like? I mean, what would you say is a good image of if you were to, oh, he gave me a bar of gold.
Can he
That's
give
a
one to
fitting
me?
image for
Can he
his
make one
chicken.
over here? I'm like, can he pass one over? I need a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Can you give, he's laughing. He thinks that's funny. But if he does send you one, it will be hidden in a KFC bucket.
Okay, we'll make sure I eat that. Um, so he can't tell us exactly. Does anyone come to him for his autograph up there? And who's he hanging around with on the other side?
Anyone come for your autograph? No, no. That's old hat. And who are you hanging around? His father, I feel like he has children that were up there, or there's children around him.
Yeah, his
Uh,
son passed away tragically when I think he was very young at 20 from tonsillitis, and that affected his life a long time. So, how did he deal with the death of his son, Harlan Jr.?
oh, how did you deal with the death of your son? Oh, he did not take that well at all. But he just, again, he worked his fingers to the bone. That's how he dealt with a lot of issues. Some people are like that. Some people, that's how they
Cool.
focus, they're hyper focused on work, and it just gets them through this thing that we call life, basically.
All right, get your pens out. We're going to go through the list. We're going to ask if we're missing anything. So, we have salt, thyme, and basil. Are those in the secret ingredients?
Yes.
Okay, we have oregano, celery salt, and black pepper. Are those all also in the ingredients?
Are those also in the ingredients? Yes.
Okay, we've got dried mustard, paprika, and garlic salt.
Mustard, paprika, and garlic salt. Yes, but the
And then we've,
mustard needs to be slightly spicy.
oh, spicy. So like a little hot mustard, maybe. How much? We've got a tablespoon of that. I don't know how big or 2 cups here, but then we've got ground ginger and white pepper, 3 tablespoons. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's mixed with 2 cups of white flour. What else are we missing? What other ingredient here do we need to add to the flavor profile?
Colonel's love.
Come on.
That's what he said.
So it's the sweat of Colonel Sanders that needs to go into each of the batches of chicken.
And the oil has to be good.
What type of oil is he running with this mix?
What type of oil? You want hot, well, they're running with like canola or vegetable, but you want to make sure your oil is fresh. So do we change the oil? Yeah, change the oil frequently.
Are there any other seasonings that we're missing in that mix?
A little bit of it's almost like a little teeny tiny bit of cayenne pepper.
Oh, a little bit of hot in there. So with the hot mustard, we got
Hmm.
some cayenne. Any other flavors?
No, that's it.
Uh, what was his favorite thing on the menu at KFC besides the chicken?
Ooh, what was your favorite thing on the menu? And KFC. I feel they did greens back then. I know they do like I think they do great. Look, I don't eat fast food, but I think they do green beans now. But he's saying back in the day it was greens, like
Hmm,
mustard greens, collard greens, stuff like that.
real Southern stuff. Was the
Yeah.
paprika used for just color or was it for flavoring as well?
No, it's for flavoring. Did you used to put pork in your greens back then? Oh, every good Southerner puts pork in their greens, Liz. Well, you know what the four Southern food groups are, don't you, Mr. Reality?
Give me a top. Well, go ahead. What are they?
Bacon grease, sugar. What else? Bacon grease, sugar, maple syrup, and pepper. What?
Where does
Okay.
that fit into the KFC? Was that
Lard.
blended? Oh, lard, sure. All old people used to cook with lard, and that made everything taste better. And now we're like, oh, it's so bad for you. Is it really bad for you from the other side, or is it good for you from the other side, cooking with those things?
Is it really? It's terrible for you. Um, do any of your restaurants cook with lard? No. Did you used to? Yeah, he used to fry in lard. Yeah, he used to fry in lard. Wow.
Well, thank you, Colonel Sanders, and thank you, Liz Cross. Thanks again, everybody out there, for your kind words and donations to the Ko-Fi. And we want to thank Colonel Sanders and the KFC people for bringing us that fine down south Kentucky Fried Chicken. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun. I hope everybody enjoys it.
Bye, everybody.